Hi, everybody. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for, jumping in and maybe being curious about what I'm offering as it relates to a delinquent tax sale list. And for those of you who already follow me and rock with me, no need to reintroduce myself, but allow me to give a little bit of background about myself and the reason why I want to be able to offer this service of selling a delinquent tax sale list. Again, my name is Dee. I am a tax lien investor, but I actually been investing in real estate since 2014. Received a lot of official training, unofficial training. Unofficial training is always going to be the hard knock life method. But needless to say, under some certain circumstances, I had stepped away from investing in real estate. So it wasn't until 2017 that I wound up finding my interest again in real estate when a company came here to Atlanta and they were offering a list for $1,500 on the state of Florida where you can buy properties for like little to nothing. And like many other folks, we always want to find stuff for the cheapest. And so I paid the $1,500. And unfortunately, I didn't quite understand how to read the list. So I didn't take action. And I had a year access to this site. And I just felt it was a little bit disingenuous on their end, but more importantly on my end for really not understanding, what I was paying for. Tax lien investing is definitely an area that is starting to pick up and take off. There are over 12 billion tax liens sold annually. So as you know, when it comes to tax lien investing, it is simply people who fail to pay their property taxes, and the counties, the parishes, municipalities will auction those properties off to get back those property taxes because those property taxes pay for services within those particular counties, parishes, municipalities, and or states. So when I realized that, there are two precious commodities for me, that's human life and time. So as it relates to time, a lot of people didn't have time to, really do their research and try to determine what properties on a delinquent tax sale list was, a property one that they were interested in, and then two, maybe the likelihood of them being able to win that property. And so I have, a tax lien course, and I realized that, there's still a percentage of my students who, or folks that have come through my program, haven't been able to take action. And some of them will probably say because it takes a lot of research, and it literally does. I think that's the biggest impediment that a lot of folks have is, just doing the detailed research. So I'm going to give you an example and just sort of speak it through. So let's just say, for an example, a county, and I'll use my county that I've invested in, has a delinquent tax sale list, and there's over, 300 to 400 properties on that list. Well, that's quite a bit of properties to have to go through to determine if that's a property that you want to bid on. And the way my team and I break this list down, you will know once we download the list and put it into a system, which I'm going to show you, you will know whether that property is a vacant land, slated for residential or commercial, or just simply vacant land, whether it is a residential, multifamily, commercial building, whatever that type of asset is, our team will break that stuff down for you. But, a lot of people get discouraged because they got a list. Now they got to spend the time to analyze it. And most people, let's just say it, are still working a 9 to 5 job, and they just don't have the time and the energy, to put forth, doing the leg work. So that's why I wanted to create something that could save yourself some time. Save yourself, the headache of actually having to, do the tedious work. So, that's where we come in at. Now, there's still a portion of the work that you have to do to make the ultimate decision as far as whether you're going to bid on that property. So you would still have to determine, the property condition, determine whether or not you're going to use this property as a fix and flip or use this property as a buy and hold. You still have to make that determination. You still have to determine whether the particular list you even want to, invest, the county you want to invest in is a tax deed, a redeemable tax deed, or a tax lien certificate, because you want to be able to make sure you make the best use of your money, make sure you make the best use of your time. And like I said, time is like the second biggest commodity or biggest resource that we have. And so how about I get at it and show you exactly what we do? So what my team and I do is we use Smartsheet to actually download or upload a delinquent tax sale list in. So let's just say we have Tax Lien County D. And what we will do is, again, 75% of the work, which is to download the delinquent tax sale list into Smartsheet, and we will, put all of this pertinent information in here for you, especially when it comes time to locate a property. We even have the capacity to, hyperlink it to whatever resource or tool you like. So say, for example, if you like to find your properties using Zillow, we'll use Zillow, or we can use realtor.com. At the end of the day, we're just wanting to make sure that you have the most the best accurate information, to make your decision a little bit easier when it comes time to deciding what you want to bid on. Now, here's where, that 25% comes into play. Like I said, you still have to do some work. Like I said, for you, property class, property condition, may be significant to you. So we can always delete information from off of this sheet for you. But one thing you're going to want to do is get out there to see the property, or, use a source like TaskRabbit and pay someone to go out there and see, a property, because I don't always invest in my own backyard. So what that means is that I don't also go out to, every property that I invest in outside of the state I'm residing in. I don't do that. So I might use resources, to assist in, going out there to verify the property. So TaskRabbit might be a resource that you use and pay for someone to take pictures and videos, because this is going to help you determine what the estimated fix and flip and or buy and hold is going to cost you. Because remember, when you're investing in tax liens, you are not legally able to go onto that property. You can't go in, like if you have a real estate agent and they let you in inside the home and view the home, so you can take notes and look to see what the rehab cost is going to be. No, you have to make educated guess on what that rehab is going to be. So the best you could do is stand outside or have somebody else stand outside, let me look at what I can look at to determine what it's going to cost me. Do I need a new roof? Yes or no? Okay. What's the average cost? Is there structural damage on the outside that will really give me concern as to whether it's how much it may potentially cost me? And more importantly, do I actually want to invest in this property? If it's something that I know it has structural issues and I don't want to deal with it, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the list to nix it, to take it off. Do I, have to get brand new windows? So again, when you're doing, trying to determine your rehab costs, you're looking at it from the perspective of what is it going to cost me with me standing outside of this property that I cannot go on, not go inside and actually look at. So I just want to be transparent with you about that, because there's a lot of people that will sell a list, just like I, learned about the delinquent tax sale list back in 2017, got a list, but they never taught this portion of it. Yes, you can sell me a list. Yes, just using Florida as an example. Yes, I can see that you could get properties or bid on properties for pennies on a dollar. But this is the part that they don't tell you, that you as the investor, actually still have to follow up and do, which is called that due diligence process. So you still, as the investor, if you're going to purchase my list, I cannot overemphasize how important it is for you to finish up this process and determine, what your estimated rehab cost is going to be. And then in addition, you take some notes, right? And then, we come over here, ultimately, how much are you going to bid on this property? That's what I need to know. How much you're going to bid on this property from a fix and flip standpoint or a maximum bid standpoint, right? So you got to know that. Now, sometimes people will say, some people will say, create a maximum bid, right? And then I'm going to tell you, for those investors who don't really have the money, don't worry about a maximum bid. Bid based off of how much you have. I did that at my very first auction. I took $5,000 to my very first auction, and I wind up acquiring two properties. Well, really two parcels. And I even though I created a maximum bid, eventually I didn't bid on it, bid that much. I said, well, all I have is $5,000. I didn't have, I think both totaled out, if when I did my maximum bid, like $75,000. I'm like, man, I don't have $75,000 as a maximum bid. All I got is $5,000. So I said, okay, I know that I probably need to create a maximum bid for both a fix and flip and buy and hold, but I'm going to bid based on the money I have in my pockets. So I always encourage people, don't get discouraged about you thinking that there's going to be a lot of folks that got deep pockets. Of course there are. Of course there are, right? But they're not going to grab all the properties. There's over 12 billion parcels sold annually. Annually. And I think that number is even skewed to be higher than that. So do not be discouraged. Because I use the method of just simply bidding what I had in my pocket. And then there are some other items on here that I always tell folks, if you are in remember, you got three different type of tax liens. You got a tax deed, a redeemable tax deed, and a tax lien certificate. So redeemable tax deeds, obviously, you're going to have up to a 1-year holding cost. So you want to factor that in when it comes time for you determining what your maximum bid is going to be. And then if you're in a tax lien certificate state that has a redemption of 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years, you definitely want to know what those additional taxes are, what those additional taxes, sort of forecast what those additional taxes will be those subsequent years, since if you win this parcel, you're going to have to take those taxes into account. So you want to factor that in, and don't forget about, the lawyers. Now, something else we provide in, in our spreadsheet. Obviously, we provide attachments. This isn't additional because it takes a lot of time and a lot of time to actually upload these attachments. And then we, especially if you're driving out there to the location and you want to know exactly where that property is, we'll provide a link for you to be able to pull that property up. And then we also provide, for me, I use PropStream. And again, I'm gonna be transparent with you, because again, you may not have the time, and plus, this costs like $99, at least the one that I have, $99 a month. So, we use that to try to get as much information on an asset as possible. So again, when it comes to a delinquent tax sale list, my team and I are very detailed. We will provide enough information. Like I said, 75% of the information for you to make the decision if you want to bid on that property or not. We break that down to whether it's a single family home, whether it's a mobile home, vacant land, commercial building, industrial building, or industrial land, whatever that particular property is, and whatever information we can gather, you best believe we're going to put it on this spreadsheet to let you reclaim your time. So here's an opportunity to save yourself some time ultimately. So again, my name is Dee, and I'm moving into the space of selling our delinquent tax sale list because I'm confident enough to know that too many people have been winning parcels off of lists that I have provided. In 2023, as an example, over 23 people won properties utilizing our delinquent tax sale list. One person won 5 properties with my delinquent tax sale list. So I'm confident enough to know that you will, if you follow the steps that that I sort of speak on, and you follow the journey of understanding about tax liens, but more importantly, getting this list and saving yourself plenty of time in researching these properties. So I wish you the best of luck on your journey in this tax lien space.